The hour of 9:30 having arrived, the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration will come to order. A quorum is present. Representative Steer, have you had a chance to review the minutes?
I have.
Representative Steer moves that the minutes from January 15th, 2025 be approved. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails and the minutes are approved. The next item on our agenda today is the permanent rules, and I will ask House Research to walk us through the changes to the permanent rules that are before us.
Sure, excuse me. Mr. Chair and members, Matt Gehring from House Research. I'll just walk through quickly the primary substance of the proposed permanent rules here. The document that's in the packet, just to orient you to what it is, reflects the 23-24 permanent rules of the House with the changes that are being proposed by the committee. So the rules that look to be current law is effectively the rules of the past session with your proposed changes. So I'll start on page 4. I'm not going to walk through each of the conforming changes in this document, but I'll just focus on the big pieces of substance. Starting on page 4, you'll see the elimination of House Rule 1.22, which is the fiscal calendar. And on page 5 is the elimination of House Rule 1.23, the consent calendar. And there are several conforming changes throughout to reflect the elimination of both of those calendar procedures. At the bottom of page 5, House Rule 2.01 is amended to provide that members are not entitled to per diem expense reimbursement on days that the member is absent from a floor session of the House. And then I'll move ahead to page 11. And point out a change to House Rule 3.21, which is the rule related to germaneness. There's new language on line 11.8 and 11.9 that provides that propositions that amend a chapter of statute that is amended in the underlying bill is germane. And then moving ahead to page 12, at the bottom of page 12, you see new House Rule 3.50 related to election challenges. This is the language that was adopted in the temporary rules of the House and is now being codified in this document as part of the permanent rules as well. On page 14, you'll see updates to House Rule 4.03, which identifies the major finance and revenue bills for the House. And then similarly on page 19, updates to the list of committees for the House to reflect the new committee structure that's been adopted by the House leadership for this session. And then lastly, on page 30, this is House Rule 10.05 related to remote House operations. There's new language on lines 30.5 to 30.7 that requires the House Journal to identify members who are attending or voting during a floor session by remote means, and including an indication of whether the member is doing so for health-related reasons or safety-related reasons. And then lines 30.11 and 30.12 prohibits the member from receiving per diem expense allowances on days the member is attending and voting by remote means. And I'll note that in the packet, there's an amendment to clarify that that exception applies only to days the member attends and votes via remote means for a floor session.
Thank you, Mr. Gehring. And I will move first to that amendment that you referenced. The A6 is an author's amendment. That is intended to clarify that that last change related to per diem only applies to a floor session. Any member discussion on that? Are there any members of the public that'd like to testify about that amendment? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the A6 amendment say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails and the amendment is adopted. Representative Schultz, you have the A4 amendment. Would you like to offer it?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the A4 amendment, and I think that this is a very important amendment as we look towards a new day in the Minnesota House of Representatives and an opportunity to engage and invite the public to be a greater part of our process with excellent access to public officials, elected officials, and that the people be able to speak with and reach their members in their legislative offices, which is exactly what this provides for, Mr. Chair, and I urge its adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Schultz. Is there any public testimony on the A4 amendment? Any member discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of the A4 amendment say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails and the amendment is adopted. Now, on the permanent rules as amended, is there any public testimony? Any member discussion? Seeing no further discussion, I move the adoption of the permanent rules of the House as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The motion prevails. Members will be taking up the permanent rules of the House during session on Monday, January 27th, 2025, and that concludes our agenda for today. The meeting is adjourned.